really felt like God himself was giving me snapshots of my own lived experiences. You would teach something, and then a memory would come back. I don't remember the year that happened. I think it was like in the 1400s, and there was a law that was passed that no more than 3 or 4 black people could be gathered together at the same time.
That was in the 1700s in New York.
Okay, exactly. Yeah. When you taught that, I sat there and a memory came back. I was 15 years old, and it was a summer jobs program. Okay, I went to Grant High School, so I did this summer jobs program with the Corps of Engineers with another young lady. And in the office we worked at were 2 older black ladies that kind of took us under their wing, and they were just really amazing and super incredible. One day, it was lunchtime, and all of the, the supervisors and managers had all left for lunch. But she and I, the younger black girl that also went to Grant with me, and the 2 older black ladies that were there, we were gathered around the copy machine. And they were just encouraging us and talking to us. And then all of a sudden, the management team came in. The white supervisors, the bosses, they came in. And when they saw us together, their faces changed. Emmanuel, I'm telling you the truth. I hadn't thought about that until you taught that lesson. Wow. And I went back in time. Yeah. And I remembered that. Yeah. And when their facial expressions changed, you could tell that they didn't approve. And the older black lady put a big smile on her face, kind of changed the conversation. She greeted them, and then she pretty much excused us now that we know how to operate whatever. I mean, she made something up, and then we kind of scurried away. And I thought, even in that moment, that is that remnant.
It was like they were sending you a message like, you guys should not be together.
You should not be together.
This is dangerous. We don't like this.
We don't like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
It is powerful. And I hadn't thought about that. And so throughout the weeks, I just kind of found myself sitting and listening and having these moments. What some would call, integration. Some might call it desegregation, and some might just call it busing. Okay, let's just say it was busing, right? 1970s, I used to go to Sabin Elementary School, kindergarten through 4th grade. We were singing the Black National Anthem when it was, and I remember this, okay? We were singing the Black Anthem, and when February came, you knew it was Black History Month. We had pictures all around the classrooms. We all got a chance to say something, pick someone to talk about. And that was, once again, that was fabulous. I felt comfortable. Right? Then 1977, 70, whatever it was, 75, 76, we were getting bused, And to be honest with you, and I know I've shared this with you before, I'm going to say it again, I did not even know that there was something wrong with being black until I was bussed out. So the evolution of racism and having a chance to get this education, and I've said it before, unless you went to an all-black elementary, middle, high school, and HBCU, historically black college, living in Oregon, you're not getting any black history. Or if you're blessed enough to have someone in your family, whether it's a parent or uncle or aunt, who really wants to make sure these young people in the family know their history, you're not going to get it. A big nugget, something that kind of came up for me, as old as I am, I didn't realize that deep down inside, over the course of the weeks, there was still some part of me that wasn't quite right with me. Okay, there was something deep inside of me that was still that little 10-year-old girl being bussed out in those years of that experience, right? But what this education has done is it set her free.
Wow. Okay,
it's set her free. She no longer has that feeling of those weird inadequacies that I did not know were there until this training. Now, the other piece of it, how I'm able to move through Portland or move through life, it's a completely different lens. I mean, I've always been pretty confident. Now it's coming from a deeper place. Sometimes we can just put on confidence. Yeah. We got to show up, right? And it's kind of this outward thing, right? There's such an inner peace and an inner contentment. And so now interacting with white folks, it's much different, because it's almost like, you hear the phrase like, now I see you, now I really see you. Yeah. I can smile at you, but I really see you. And I still love you, right? I'm not angry, I'm not mad, but I see you. And I recognize certain things that you say. I need to be mindful of what I say and what I share, because I believe that they're unaware of that seed that's planted, deposited in them. The white supremacy is deposited in them. For sure. That they're unaware that it's there. Even the most liberal of white folks that think that they're so what? Woke. In all actuality, no.
They got a lot of work to do.
They got truth be told, they might have more work to do than, come on.
Yeah, because a lot of them are deluding themselves because they have the sign in their yard, and because you know, they do all the hashtags. They feel like they're doing their part, which gives them a pass to really do the real work, that real uncomfortable work of digging deep into history and digging deep into all of your patterns of thought, speech, and action that may not produce justice.
Exactly.
You're just talking justice, but you're not producing anything.
Right. Before taking the training, how's this? So the Linda before taking the training had a tendency to, whenever I was met with a request that I had, whether it's an employer or someone that I'm working with, and they kind of poo-poo it and they don't want me to do it, because oftentimes it's a request that says, hey, I really want to try this, or hey, I really want to do this. So in the past, it's kind of, no, we don't want to do that. We really want to go this direction. I was more, yeah, okay, right? Now it's like, no, let's talk about why not. Right?
Take it that extra step.
Yeah, it's that extra step. No, we're not. It's not just passing it over. But why not? You know, and I think over the years, all the many opportunities, not so much that I missed them, but that what I was bringing was never viewed as being worthy. Okay, I'll say that, worthy. And so you just kind of like, remember I said that little thing inside of me, that little 10-year-old little girl, right? She was in there. This training set her free. So now it's like, no, we're going to talk about, so why is that? So tell me more about why you don't think this is a good idea, that I do this, that, and the other.
And then when you get to that stage, when you press them, how does it go?
A little pushback.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Some little pushback.
And but how do you feel during and after?
Okay. Well, during, I'm like, right? It's kind of like, oh, yeah, this is feeling good. And after, whether I get what I wanted or not, I feel fantastic because there was no fear. Okay, I feel fantastic because there's no backing down anymore.
Right.
You know, so this training adds a level of confidence from a place of not that little 10-year-old girl anymore who's getting talked about and name calling and, you know, the N-word, get back on the bus. Okay, that she's gone. This training dealt with her because now I know the truth. You know,
it's something to be said about, like you said, knowing the truth,
right?
And also taking that cloud of confusion away, because a lot of times we don't respond the way that we would authentically respond because we're not sure what the outcome could be or should be,
right?
Because of the way that they frame the world for us, and oh, actually, if I speak up, that might mean bad news for me,
right?
Even though that's really not the case,
right? As
long as you approach it in a way that's not emotional,
right? There you go.
Right?
Yeah. And that's what this does, too. The training also helps you to be able to approach it in a way that's not emotional because you have the education. You see it. And when you see what it is, you can respond to it for what it is. And not from a place of, there's nothing wrong with me.
Yeah.
You know, I know that sounds really crazy. Like I said, I'm a 50-plus-year-old person. But I'm saying it's real. There is nothing wrong with us people of color.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with us. It's not us.
This issue, this problem.
This problem is not my problem.
It's not my problem.
It's not my problem.
I just happen to be born here. I happen to be thrust into this situation.
Yes.
But I didn't create it. I didn't facilitate it. And I don't perpetuate it.
Right.
And even if you did perpetuate it, that was out of ignorance.
Right.
But you don't get any. Your level of privilege, our level of privilege from perpetuating this system of racism is obviously pales in comparison, for lack of a better term, to what the white group gets from perpetuating this system.
Exactly.
So it's just like,
yeah,
we're no longer doing that.
No, not at all. And I think a word that comes up for me is like, I'm not responsible for how you are interpreting my color or my skin right now. It is not my responsibility. It's a weight that I'm no longer going to carry, and I haven't.
Did you see?
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think about, since I've worked in the nonprofit sector for so long and had all these different trainings. Oh my goodness, so many. None of them. Okay, and mind you, I've been at it for what? I don't know, maybe the last 8-9 years. None of them can hold a candle to what I got out of your training.
That's powerful.
The evolution of racism, it's a game changer.
Wow.
And I can't imagine someone taking it and not having it. Either they will drop out of it because they just can't take so much truth. Okay? Or they'll sit with it and allow it to bring about the transformation. I would say you can either get the same old, what you've been getting, and oftentimes we've all gone to those trainings where, okay, we just got to put a check mark in this box, and nothing ever changes. This training, you can't take this training and not change. You can't take this training and not have it transform you in some way, because you can't unlearn it. You can't take back what you've heard. Yeah. It's that deep. It lands that way. No other diversity, equity, inclusion training, the workshops and all the stuff that you're taking in Portland, it can't hold a candle to this.